Hello everyone, this is Zoltar, and welcome back to Darkest Dungeon. So, this time we're taking one of our old teams again through some of the dungeons. As you can see, we finally replaced our Hellion, caught back up after our initial Hellion died. It was all very sad, very upsetting. It was pretty much the worst thing that's ever happened to us in this game, if we're being honest. But it's back. We're going to try out this group, because our other two groups are still recovering from all the nightmares they've been put through, and it's awful and horrible and ugh. We don't even want to talk about it, but thankfully, if we can succeed at a long exploration through the Warrens, we'll get an Ancestor's Portrait, which gives us plus 50% Resolve XP. Seems to be one of the few Ancestors items that has a real clear, defined use, even with its ridiculous amount of specialization. So we're going to hop in and try to get that acquired. As it is a long mission, we will be focusing on using a lot of tools, like having a lot of provisions, 36 food, large number of shovels, a lot of anti-venom, a lot of bandages. We are throwing money away at this point, which once again is not the best of ideas, given that we do not have an infinite font of money anymore, but we're waiting till later to figure out where that line actually is.
To prosecute our war against the swine, we must first scout their squalid homes.
Alright, so that's going to be our objective this time, scout their squalid homes. We'll just start by heading south, I guess? I don't really have any good reason for that. I guess I could go up and around. Yeah, let's go north instead. I think I like this path better. We might not ever see that bag again, and I'm not sure I care. Get a little torch, thank you. Gonna keep light high, because I am terrified of the dark in this new world we live in. Increase that light level. Nothing. Okay, I like nothing. Nothing's good. Like, fights are, at this point, fights just feel straight up bad most of the time.
Lie in wait, unsprung and thirsting for blood.
Also, I don't know what it is. I feel like I do not get near as much scouting done these days as I used to. Like, scouting seems pretty rare, even when you're keeping light high, which is kind of frustrating because it makes traps very difficult to deal with when you can't see them. Just a thought. Okay, hunger, that's fine, I guess. Not a big deal. Okay, and a fight. Here we go. And we're surprised quite badly, like to the point of I feel like just running away right now would be our best option. Okay, good way to start. Just, yeah, terrible things happening. Get out. Oh, and we get a scout out of that. That's fantastic, I guess. So let's try to not be surprised this time. Surprise also seems to be going against me more often than it used to, even in Radiant Light. Very frustrating. Let's try again. Not surprised this time. They're surprised. Yeah, we popped on back in. You weren't ready for it, apparently. So we do have the option of just tossing out a fast self-heal right now, or even just a stress heal, and I think that's the kind of thing I'm going to start with. It's just protection buff, stress relief, all that good stuff going on immediately. We might need to rearrange some of these skills at some point as well. Now, these two front guys, they don't have a whole lot of protection going on. In fact, none of these guys, it looks like, have protection going on. So let's focus on the Thunderer, I'm thinking. Try to bring him down first. Then we'll probably try and get to the Swine Heaver afterward. Just keep plugging away at him. So he's bleeding for 4 per round, and he's currently at 14 hit points. That's decent for us. I also might need to redo some of the Jester skills and make sure everything's in order. Okay, we could start chopping away at the champions, and that might be alright. Another option is to just quickly do a self-heal. As you can see, we healed for 12 there. Quite a lot. Oh good, getting crit in the mouth. Wonderful. And we got a nice buff applied so that he is very resistant to all kinds of bad things that could happen to him. Bring down the pig. I kind of wish if you hit him with a bleed skill and they were already bleeding, that would eliminate the corpse on its own. I don't know. Feels kind of difficult to eliminate the corpse sometimes. Like more than it needs to be. Get out of here. Jerk. Just toss out another battle ballad for the moment because I don't have solo and finale equipped yet. Okay, only 7. See, protection's working out well for us. Stress is still ridiculous, but the protection's working out well. I also was thinking about using Purge to really help out. I think Purge could get a lot of work done, but I didn't equip it. I probably would get rid of Hue in favor of Purge for the time being and see if I could really have that help me out. Unfortunately, we cannot reach the Heaver, I don't think, with anything right now. So we may just actually yell at these guys for the time being. Damage reduction, but we get that stun, which is so nice. Yeah, let's just keep battle balloting. I thought I had redone the skills on these guys already. Apparently I hadn't. But I don't want to run away from a fight that's already, you know, not complete, but it's had a lot of work put into it. Plus 25 speed right now on our leper, by the way. I just want to point that out, because that seems kind of silly. Kind of silly. No more protection. We have all these other nice things going on, so I guess I won't worry about it too much. Yeah, just start cutting them. Cut them good. I guess we can harvest here to try and get through this corpse. Doesn't look like the corpse will bleed. Unfortunate, but understandable. 1 HP left on the Heaver. It's just been our Vestal plugging away at it the whole time. Trying to get things done. So you're already bleeding a bit. I guess we can just cut you. Put you on the ground. More vomit. At least the vomit hasn't done anything horrifying yet. So I guess it's okay. That's not good, though. Please no bleed effect. Bleed effect. Cut you. Okay, he's dead on his turn, which is good. Not going to do a heal, because I want to finish off that guy, unfortunately. Now, I would still like to kill him, but I don't have any skills that can, as you can tell. An Inspiring Tune got nerfed to the point where, at least, I don't know if it got nerfed, actually, but it's a single target thing instead of an area of effect thing now. I'll just battle ballad again, because why not? The bleed into death. Or at least we got a crit at the end. Still, stress is already that high from just one fight. Get rid of those. And let's pop a bandage, because that's why they're there. Makeshift dining table. Alright, good. Let's go ahead and use some of those, just to heal up a bit. Get a lot of healing done from just Skyrimming the food there. Alright, we found a barrel. I guess we could hit this already. We would use our last herbs if we hit it now. Maybe we come back for it later. Maybe we rest, like, down here, come back for the barrel, and then start again up in these rooms. I think I'm more okay with that than using the barrel now. Because the barrel, I believe, lasts until camp. And at least the buffs seem to specify that now. If they last until camping or not. Oh, good. A Swine-Tar champion, and I forgot to redo my skills again. I just forgot, flat out. It was like, totally skipped my mind. At least we were able to run away.
But the battle may yet be won.
Okay, so let's do this now before I forget again. I was thinking about Iron Swan, but you have to be in the front position for that, and it's difficult to pull that off most of the time. Breakthrough, I don't see myself using again. Bleed Out, similar thing to Iron Swan. It has its uses, clearly, but you have to be in the first position, and that's a little bit difficult to accomplish most of the time, to actually achieve. So I'm tempted to go with Adrenaline Rush instead, and hope that that helps out. For the Leper, I kind of wanted to get rid of Hue and go with Purge. For our Jester, Harvest and Slice Off have their uses, but I have to actually think about this one for the time being. I want Battle Ballad, period. Battle Ballad's amazing. Along with that, I can go with potentially, I'm thinking, Solo Finale Slice Off. Harvest is an area of effect thing, which is great for when you need to get a lot of bleeds down, but feels like in this day and age with the game, you want to be focusing down targets a bit more, so that's why I'm going to go that way. And then no changes to our Vestal. Now, I do have the option of just backing out and completely avoiding this fight, because we know it's a super, super dangerous one. I'll get a little extra stress for that, but at least I don't have to fight a superhuman swine nonsense beast of Centauriness. What if we're ambushed like this? We've never been ambushed like this ever in our entire existence of Darkest Dungeon. Not once have we ever been ambushed backing out of a hallway. It's kind of sad that I'm resorting to these tactics to complete these dungeons now, though. Like, fights are just that terrifying that each and every single one could be your last quite easily. And you doesn't feel like you have the ability to mitigate enough the bad things that are happening to you, especially because for some reason, look, I'm going to rant about trinkets again, because every single time a trinket pops up and I'm like, man, that looks like a helpful trinket, I can actually commit some resources to getting that, like make sure that I pick that up. Why can't I see my bad things right now? I have to open up this screen now to see my bad things. Why can't I click over here like I used to be able to? Oh well. Look, every single time trinkets pop up, and I'm like, that looks like a nice trinket, I'm going to focus on acquiring those for my group because most of these trinkets are almost on like borderline unusable. The trinket gets nerfed down to borderline unusable, is what it feels like. What's the point? Give me something I can actually use that feels good, that feels like it's actually a benefit to my team. You know what I mean? Because most of the time, it just doesn't feel like a benefit anymore. And it feels like it's such a huge negative on this thing that I don't know if I want to actually use it. Oh man, we actually got Nocturnal. That's what I was hoping for, honestly, for burning that scroll. I just want my trinkets to be impactful. How hard is it to balance the game around giving you powerful trinkets in the late game? I don't understand. Okay, we'll still head toward this room, even though there's a fight in the way, because it's a hallway fight, and it probably doesn't have a swine tar. It does have a ghoul, but he's a surprised ghoul. So that'll help. Okay. So Purge doesn't do much for us here yet. Although we could try it. Although his move resist is insane, so I don't see the point. Let's just do some stress healing. Lots of prot on the ghoul. Is definitely worth noting. Just focus on burning out the Thunderer, please. Make him bleed. Not quite enough. He will bleed out in 2 turns at this point, so that's not the worst thing ever. Just start cutting the ghoul. Don't see anything else to do. Let's go for the kill. Alright, we got it. Don't really care about the corpse all that much. Oh, 2 dodges on that howl. That's nice. That actually surprised me quite a bit. So I could Adrenaline Rush for extra damage, but I think I'd like to just start stacking bleeds on this guy. Like, a damage boost doesn't affect your debuffs, so there's really no point in doing it against somebody with 50% prot instead of just throwing out bleeds, as far as I can tell. We'll go for a stun. No hit on the stun, but yeah, whatever. He has 50% prot. You can't damage him. What's the point in not trying the stun? Just cut you. 6. Cut for 6. Blah. So I could solo into a finale, but it doesn't feel all that strong. Like, if I'm going to do anything, it should be either Battle Ballad or Slice Off. And I kind of like Slice Off at this point. Just keep stacking the bleeds. All the bleeds. He's up to 13 damage per round. That's pretty intense, honestly. And he's stunned, so he's just going to bleed for 13. There it is. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We only need 9 damage on him. We did 8. But thankfully we got in 3 more. So it's good. We're good. He will now bleed out. So I could do an Adrenaline Rush for whatever reason. It heals you. It gives you a buff. I don't see any reason not to, for the most part. And then a Battle Ballad. Just in case we get into a fight in the next room and it lasts long enough. I'm not sure, but we may as well try it, right? There's no point in hitting him. That's the only thing I know for sure. Like 100%. And on into the room. Let's pop a torch. I'm already running a little lower on torches than I like. Another Swine Tar champion with a chest. I need to get through one of these. I guess we'll see how awful it is these days. Give me the buffs. Come on, let's do this. Massive move resist on him to the point where it's not even a point in trying. We can go for a stun, I guess, but I feel like I just want the witch dead back there. As fast as possible. Can't do any moving him around because he's too big. We will just hit with stand. At least he purges stress so well. He just gets rid of it like crazy. And we'll go for a cut there. And he's already bleeding out pretty bad. That's nice. Stumbling scratch. So I have to imagine that's because he was so far back that pushing all the way forward like that or something cost him a lot of accuracy. Boar Rush is horrifying, as we already knew. I almost don't want to cut this guy because I don't want to kill him. I want him to bleed out so the witch comes closer easily. I guess we'll just buff then. And hope that he bleeds out on his own. I could go for a stun on him for like light damage. We didn't get enough damage. It was too light of damage. How sad is that? Whatever. Just cut the pig, please. 50% prot on him. Alright. Once again, I don't really want to cut him. I could just cut the pig. I could bleed the pig, I guess. He doesn't have huge bleed resists. I could also just Adrenaline Rush. Adrenaline Rush is a small heal. Okay, so we really want him to bleed out next turn at this point. Pig Spear. Like, what kind of damage is that on one skill? Honestly, I don't understand why Swine-Tar champions and things of that nature. I do not understand the game design behind these creatures being so powerful. It does not make sense to me. Let's heal. It's just like if you happen to RNG into one of these guys, though, what it feels like is you're just kind of screwed. Deal with it, right? That's the feeling you get from it. All right, 10 damage is something with the bleed. That's nice. Keep poking away at the witch. All right, he bled out finally. No corpse. That moves the witch and makes everything a little bit easier. What are you going to do this time? Trot retreat. See, and then this kind of thing happens where he does almost nothing. I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. But whatever.
Well struck.
Crit for 7. Whatever. Fine. We can crit for 7. And now this person is in front, and so I can't even hit her appropriately with some of my skills. At least we can finish it off with the Wicked Hack. Leaves a corpse, but whatever. We'll go for a heal, I suppose, because a lot of people are injured. 6 damage. That was as low a damage roll as we could get, I think. Boar Rush, at least we're, you know... Oh, wow. He got messed up by that. Knockback 3. What is your move resist? 150% move resist. 110% stun resist. That's how much that matters against your Swine-Tar champion. I thought his move resist was ridiculous. I was right. And now he's up to 130% stun resist. It's just, oh man. Please just bleed to death. Just, that's all I want you to do. You know what? You know what? If we can get knocked around with 150% move resist, we can go for a stun. No. No, it doesn't work that way. Actually, it just doesn't work that way. Alright, at least it used Trot Retreat, so it basically sacrificed its ability to do anything else this game. Yeah, for the entire rest of its life. It's not going to do anything, probably, because it should just bleed out. 19 bleed is what we've got it at now. It's not going to be a problem. Let's start doing some healing. Bye-bye. Jerk. I hate those things so much. Now, I don't know if it's just a situation where it'll only do that skill oh so often, but even so, it's kind of like this hidden concept. Of course it's trapped. Why wouldn't it be trapped? I gotta not use my Vestal to do that in the future. What am I doing? Would you move, please? I don't know how many times I have to click that button for you to actually register. Thank you. And let's keep moving. So I wanted to go back up for that keg at some point. Oh, we found more things to burn. This is where my torches went, in part. Like, this is going to be 2 torches gone because I want to burn things. I have to actually click on the hero now. Got to remember that. Stress Eater would be nice to get rid of. The other 2 don't really care all that much. Reduced stress resist, like Zoophobia, would be nice to clear. Torn Rotator is bad, obviously. Like, that's actually really bad, and I could just guarantee to get rid of it. And weak grip is also super bad. I don't know how these people ended up with such bad negative effects. I guess we'll try and get rid of some of those. Mostly because our Jester isn't all that stressed out right now anyway with his... he's got a Dark Tambourine for if Torch gets really low. And then he has a max HP crystal because he has 35 base max HP, honestly. It's gross. Okay, so maybe we just go ahead and clear Torn Rotator. And then the other 3 can use the Sanatorium later. Sanitarium, whatever it is. There we go. And that'll help with some of our damage problems. Oh, and another one. Goodbye, torches. I don't even care. We'll turn this into a dark run if we have to. What did I get rid of? Enlightened. I didn't really care so much about that. I was hoping for weak grip, but Enlightened is fine. I think Enlightened may have been locked, so it's still really nice to get rid of a locked skill that way. We need to pop into this room for just a moment. And then I'm thinking we turn around. Then I think we actually turn around. One thing to note, it feels like this group has more substantial debuff effects than the last group did. I'm really worried about how the Highwayman in particular is going to pan out right now. Because he focuses so much, it feels like, or at least the way I've been... Oh, of course a fight spawned back here. Why wouldn't a fight spawn back here? Ugh. Alright, both of you have equal protection. The Ghoul has more hit points, but is more terrifying, generally speaking, with Skull Toss and Howl for long-term nonsense. So I guess we'll just start with protection buff and go from there. Howling, yes, of course you're going to howl at us. Look at all that stress. That's ridiculous still. Butcher Cut for 5. This is why nobody cares about you, although the bleed is bad. Let's just start bleeding you out. Let's see. We could try and throw out a stun. Probably not a bad idea. Just throw out like 1 stun on each. Could be beneficial. And of course, Battle Ballad is Battle Ballad. We will go for a self-heal this time. It's a nice bleed resist attached to that as well. I could have used a bandage and should have. Now at this point I probably won't bandage at all. I'll just have him sit there self-healing. While these two just go for all the bleeds in the world. It's already starting to bleed nicely. If we get this stun, that would be excellent. Excellent. Alright. So yeah, he's half dead. Cool. Just sit there and bleed out, you jerk. Nobody wants anything to do with you. Tell you what, instead of the self-heal this time... Nice. Leopard does damage. There's no question about that. So he needs to take 7 more, in particular. If that hits the bleed... Nope. Didn't hit the bleed. Unfortunate. Alright, I think that does it. For what he needed to take. Yes, he will just bleed out. Goodbye. And now we can focus on the Swine Slayer. Which I guess we could go for a Mega Stun on him. But we'll just keep cutting him instead for the time being. Yeah, Ball and Chain for a stun. That's unfortunate, but it's not a huge deal, honestly. We'll toss out the self-heal again. Because his self-heal doesn't seem to be impacted by his Berserk Mask and his reduced heal received. Like, his self-healing is still just as strong. So I'm going to go ahead and do a solo now. He resisted it. That's unfortunate. And I guess you'll just sit back there adrenaline rushing because you can't do anything else when I move you back that far now. Breakthrough used to be so good. These days I'm far less sure about that. And we could toss out a finale. I could toss out another solo to try and actually reduce this accuracy. Because that did not succeed last time. Finale, I should have finale'd. If nothing else, finale would have moved my Hellion back into position so she didn't have to sit back here adrenaline rushing. Which I guess the self-heal is nice, but it's not worth skipping that many turns. Butcher Cut. Yeah. That's good, that's good, that's good. 7 damage still. Just 7 damage. Horrifying. There we go. Leper's done with it. Doesn't want any more of this nonsense.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
Alright. I'll actually take that stuff. I don't know if we need the holy water for much in here, but we'll take the gold. There it is. Get rid of the holy water. And keep moving, because that was an extra fight. Now we found just by wandering around in the nothing. Let's poke out here, see what this thing is. It's a sack. We'll check the sack. Some money. I'll take money. Money's good. This Dark Bracer I'm interested in. Increased crit and dodge in a dark run. Like, it feels like the dark items in a dark run are honestly better than almost anything else, because they're just straight buffs as long as you're doing it appropriately. And you can even snuff the torch these days. And just guarantee yourself that you're in darkness, so... it's interesting. Now, I was going to come up here, I was going to rest, and then I was going to pop out and grab the barrel. That was going to be the plan. We're still avoiding the room that we shall not speak of. Alright.
Together, furtive and vulnerable. Rats in a maze.
Now, we have a lot of stress going on here, but I'm still worried about this debuff, because I feel like it'll last the entire time, and I don't get any heal out of it anyway. Like, reduced accuracy, reduced crit, not what I'm looking for. So instead, what I think we may just start with is a turn back time, because that is massive stress reduction. Absolutely ridiculous stress reduction that I absolutely love. We could even toss out with that a Tiger's Eye. But let's look at what our other options are. Battle Trance could have something nice to say for it, because of those Swine-Tar champions and ghouls that we have been dealing with. I also could try and use a Reflection, though. Let's see, if I have that many left... okay. I guess what I could do is just go ahead and Battle Trance. Reflection. Obviously Sharpened Spear would have been strong too for the crit, but oh well. And then Tiger's Eye to help out with this stress problem that we've been dealing with. And then we rest. Ah, that was like the longest ambush ever. Oh, at least the surprise wasn't completely awful. Oh, we can't slice off from the back. I forgot about that. That's why we don't sit in the back with the Jester unless we have to. Because I didn't even equip his skill for being in the back for stress reduction. Stupid ambush. Okay. Well, we're almost never going to move that guy ever again. It's kind of frustrating, all these people in front that you can't actually knock back effectively. Because we only have a 140% chance against a 120. That's not very good. Let's go ahead and withstand. We might even just have him move for a turn. But we can get this witch dead first. Already down to 6. That's good. No, you don't want to pull him forward? Come on. 21 stress. Get dead, please. That's not good. Yeah, that's 13 damage. Just flat. Right there. Alright, cut it. Ooh, 22. This thing doesn't have any protection. What? Why doesn't this thing have any prot? Of all the things that would have prot, I thought this would have been one of them. It does not, though. Wow, so we can just cut this thing to shreds then. Look at that. I don't know why we're going for a stun. I guess I didn't quite think. It was very unlikely we would get the kill. We would have had a crit, right? He doesn't even care. He doesn't even care about any of this damage coming in on him. He's like, whatever, I got this. Nuts. It's really good, though, that he actually was the one taking this stress. Like, out of all the people, we definitely want the tanks tanking when they have this kind of stress relief in particular. I don't know, it brings the leopard forward in my eyes. I didn't used to think of him as any good whatsoever. Mostly because he really wasn't. I forgot to rearrange them. Getting too caught up in my talking, not doing enough playing. I don't know why we just did that way. Oh, he has 67% prot now. Huh. Huh. Well, make him very dead, please. As dead as he possibly could be. That's enough for him to bleed out. Good. Which leaves no corpse. Perfect. That mark is not good. But at least his friend's ignoring it. Of course we resist when I actually was up for like getting knocked around or something like that. Let's go ahead and solo, which I guess helps rearrange things a little bit. And then we can try and finale on the Thunderer afterward. Yeah, let's just go for a cut. Oh, well, fine then. We'll just kill the Thunderer flat out in one shot. Fine. I guess that's fine. You can ruin all my plans. It's a good ruination. It's fine. I'm not going to whine about it. Now, the basic idea was that we would have been able to both finale and, if it bleeds, the Thunderer, so it wasn't that big a deal that our Hellion was getting out of position. And then it turned into a situation where it was kind of a big deal. Smack you around again. And we'll go for a stun. He doesn't have great stun resist, so I think trying those stuns is not a bad idea. Ow! I feel like they still do double damage when they crit. Which seems unfair, at best. Fine, just cut him. I almost want to Adrenaline Rush here, but I don't want to take any extra hits. I guess I could try for another stun and hope that lets me churn out an extra heal long term. Because, okay, good. We did get the stun. There was a decent chance of us getting that stun, which is why it felt like the right decision long term. There's also this basic idea that these guys, look at their speed. Like, this guy has 20 speed right now. Let's go ahead and toss out a stress heal. Okay, we did not get fortunate enough for our Vestal to get the next turn, so we will, I think, just finish him.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.